Emily Carter was more than just a teacher in Maple Creek, Ohio. She was a beacon of hope and inspiration for everyone who knew her. She was the heart of the town, a living embodiment of kindness and warmth. Her kindness and optimism touched everyone, from her students to neighbors she greeted on her daily walks. Emily's life was simple yet fulfilling: teaching, volunteering at the animal shelter, organizing community events, and tending her garden. Her days were filled with purpose and joy, as she nurtured both young minds and her beloved plants. She lived in a cozy house with a yellow door, a symbol of the warmth and love that filled her life. Her home was a sanctuary, surrounded by love and purpose. The town trusted her, and she trusted the town, a place where doors were left unlocked and everyone felt safe. It was a community bound by trust and mutual respect. But beneath Maple Creek's peaceful surface, darkness was waiting, lurking in the shadows, unseen and unexpected. No one could have imagined that the light Emily brought would soon be threatened. The community, once vibrant and lively, began to sense an unsettling change. Her trusting nature, once her greatest strength, would become her greatest vulnerability. Emily's open heart, which had always been her guiding light, was now at risk. The community's sense of security was about to be shattered, as whispers of danger began to circulate. Emily's story was about to take a turn no one in Maple Creek could have foreseen. The town was on the brink of a change that would alter its fabric forever. The town's beacon of hope was about to face an unimaginable shadow, a challenge that would test the very core of its spirit, and nothing would ever be the same again. The once peaceful streets of Maple Creek were now filled with uncertainty, as the community braced for what lay ahead. On a crisp autumn evening, the kind where the air feels sharp and the leaves crunch underfoot, Maple Creek seemed to settle into its usual peaceful routine. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, as porch lights flickered on one by one. Inside the local school, Emily Carter, a dedicated young teacher, stayed late, preparing lessons and grading papers for her students. The halls were silent, echoing only with the distant hum of the janitor's vacuum and the soft scratch of her pen. At 7 p.m., as the last light faded from the windows, Emily sent a quick text to her mother. "Just leaving school now. Love you." It was a simple message, filled with routine affection, but it would be the last anyone would ever receive from her. With her car in the shop for repairs, Emily had no choice but to walk home. It was a familiar route, one she'd taken countless times before, winding through quiet streets lined with golden leaves and the gentle glow of streetlights. But that night, something was different. Emily never arrived home. The sidewalk she walked was empty, the street eerily silent. Calls to her phone went unanswered, each ring echoing louder in the growing worry of her family. By morning, her parents were frantic, pacing the living room, watching the driveway for any sign of her return. They found her house untouched, her bed still perfectly made, her belongings exactly where she'd left them. There was no sign she'd returned, no clue to suggest what had happened in those missing hours. It was as if she'd vanished into thin air, somewhere between the school and her front porch, leaving no trace behind. News of her disappearance spread quickly, shattering the calm of Maple Creek. The town's sense of safety was replaced by a growing panic, as neighbors gathered in hushed groups, whispering theories and fears. The town, once trusting and open, was now gripped by fear and uncertainty. Parents clung to their children, refusing to let them walk alone. Families locked their doors, and mothers hugged their children a little tighter, haunted by the thought that it could have been anyone. Neighbors eyed each other with suspicion, trust eroding as everyone wondered if someone they knew could be responsible. The search for Emily Carter began in earnest. Police and volunteers combed the woods and streets, flashlights cutting through the darkness, hope mingling with dread in every step. The streets that once felt safe now seemed to hide a terrible secret, every shadow a possible clue, every sound a potential threat. How could someone like Emily simply disappear without a trace? Flyers went up on every corner, her face a constant reminder of the mystery. The community's innocence was lost in a single night. Candlelight vigils were held, prayers whispered into the chilly air, hope flickering like the flames. Search parties pressed on, their faces etched with worry, refusing to give up even as the days stretched on. Maple Creek would never be the same. The darkness had arrived, settling over the town like a heavy fog, and Emily was gone, leaving only questions and heartbreak behind. Emily's disappearance united Maple Creek in shock and sorrow. Hundreds joined search parties, posting flyers and scouring every corner of town. Police launched a full investigation, retracing Emily's last steps. The window for her disappearance was terrifyingly small. Minutes, not hours. No evidence, no struggle, no clues. Just a void where Emily should have been. As days passed, hope faded, replaced by suspicion and fear. Neighbors eyed each other warily. Trust was broken. News crews arrived, amplifying the town's pain. Detectives focused on those living along Emily's route home. One name surfaced repeatedly: Brian Miller, the quiet man 2 doors down. His isolation, once overlooked, now seemed ominous. The community's fear had a new focus. For weeks, the investigation seemed to stall, with no new leads and growing frustration among the officers and Emily's family. The sense of urgency only intensified as days slipped by. Then, a breakthrough. Police decided to meticulously review security footage from a gas station near Emily's home, hoping for even the smallest clue. The grainy black and white video revealed a crucial moment. Emily, alone, walking under the flickering streetlights. Suddenly, Brian Miller appeared, stepping from behind a tree to intercept her path. The footage captured their brief exchange, a silent conversation that would soon become the focus of the entire investigation. Emily hesitated, glancing back as if weighing her options, then made the fateful decision to follow Brian toward his house. This was the last time anyone would see her alive, a haunting image that would replay in the minds of detectives and her loved ones. Brian had insisted he hadn't seen Emily that night, but the footage told a different story. His alibi unraveled in an instant, and suspicion quickly mounted. Armed with a search warrant, detectives arrived at Brian's home, determined to uncover the truth hidden behind closed doors. Inside, the house was eerily spotless. No clutter, no personal touches, just a sterile environment that felt more like a staged scene than a lived-in home. The unnatural cleanliness only deepened the officers' suspicions. As officers methodically searched each room, Brian's anxiety became impossible to hide. He paced, fidgeted, and grew visibly agitated, especially when the search moved toward the backyard. His behavior grew increasingly erratic, sweat beading on his forehead, hands trembling, his composure slipping away with every passing minute. Detectives exchanged knowing glances, sensing that the truth was within their grasp. The tension in the air was electric, every instinct telling them they were close to a breakthrough. Outside, a team of officers focused their attention on a patch of earth where a neighbor had reported seeing Brian digging late at night. The ground looked recently disturbed, and the officers' flashlights swept over the area with growing urgency. The entire entire neighborhood watched from behind curtains and police tape, their faces etched with worry and fear. The tension was palpable. The community held its collective breath, desperate for answers. The search shifted from hope to grim determination. Every officer moved with purpose, knowing that what they might find would change everything. Every detail was scrutinized, every movement carefully documented. No stone was left unturned as investigators combed the yard for any sign of what had happened to Emily. As a shovel broke the ground, the tension reached its peak. Something was about to be uncovered. Brian's secrets, long buried, were on the verge of being revealed. The investigation had reached a critical turning point. New evidence was about to come to light, and the case would never be the same. The once quiet backyard was now a hive of activity, transformed into the epicenter of Maple Creek's worst nightmare. Forensic teams worked under harsh lights, determined to uncover the truth. The truth was buried beneath the surface, but not for long. Each scoop of earth brought investigators closer to the answers everyone so desperately needed. The town stood united in anxious silence, neighbors holding hands and gathering in small groups, their eyes fixed on the unfolding scene. In the darkness, a flashlight beam finally revealed a hidden object. The police uncovered evidence that would change the course of the investigation forever. Emily's fate, long shrouded in mystery, would soon be known. The discovery sent shockwaves through the team and the entire community. Maple Creek would never forget this night. The tragedy would leave a lasting mark, uniting the town in grief and remembrance for years to come. Brian Miller was the neighborhood enigma, quiet, withdrawn, and always alone. His house was neat, blinds always drawn, his presence barely noticed. When questioned, he claimed illness kept him inside the night Emily vanished, showing no concern for her fate. Neighbors recalled odd behavior, late-night digging, obsessive car cleaning. These details, once dismissed, now seemed sinister. Police confronted Brian with the footage, his calm cracked, turning defensive and angry. His story unraveled under scrutiny. The man who hid in plain sight was now the prime suspect. The community's unease grew. Brian's secrets were coming to light. The shadows he lived in were about to be exposed. Investigators focused on Brian's backyard, guided by a neighbor's tip about late-night digging. Cadaver dogs alerted near freshly turned soil by the fence. Under a thin layer of sod, they found a piece of blue fabric, Emily's coat. The search became heartbreakingly real. Emily Carter had been found, buried just feet from her killer's door. Her school bag, filled with children's books, was buried with her. A can of unused pepper spray lay nearby, a symbol of her trust and vulnerability. The hope of finding her alive was gone, replaced by grief and outrage. The community mourned as the truth surfaced. Emily's light had been extinguished, but her story was far from over. The investigation now turned to justice. The discovery of Emily's body devastated Maple Creek. Her family's agony shifted from uncertainty to unbearable loss. The school brought in counselors. The town built a memorial outside her home. The autopsy revealed a sudden, violent attack. No chance for Emily to defend herself. Evidence from Brian's home and car left no doubt he was her killer. Fibers, blood, and the timeline all pointed to him. Brian Miller was arrested, the face of the evil that shattered Maple Creek's peace. The community's grief was immense, but so was their resolve. Emily's family vowed to seek justice. The nightmare had an answer, but the healing had only begun. Maple Creek would never forget. Confronted with overwhelming evidence, Brian Miller confessed. He revealed an obsession with Emily, watching her daily and building a fantasy in his mind. On the night she vanished, he lured her with a fake request for help. Inside his house, when Emily tried to leave, he snapped, her rejection fueling his rage. The attack was sudden and fatal. Brian claimed he hadn't planned to kill her, but his actions told another story. He buried her in his backyard, hoping his secret would stay hidden. His confession exposed the darkness lurking behind a neighbor's door. The monster wasn't a stranger, it was someone they all knew. The truth was chilling, but it brought closure. Justice was now within reach. Brian Miller was swiftly convicted and sentenced to life in prison. For Emily's family in Maple Creek, it was closure, not celebration. They chose to honor Emily's memory by founding the Emily Carter Foundation, promoting literacy and kindness in schools. The foundation provides books and teaches empathy, values Emily lived by. The town built a memorial garden at her school, a place for reflection and hope. Maple Creek, though changed, found unity and resilience in tragedy. Emily's legacy endures in every life she touched. Her story is a reminder of both life's fragility and the power of compassion. The darkness did not win. Emily's light continues to shine. Her spirit guides Maple Creek toward a kinder, safer future.